Happy Friday the 13th, Day of the Goddess, and I'm inspired to do a reading in honor of Goddess energy and to thank in advance for Goddess guidance. This will be for the ladies, but it may resonate with men that are tapped into their divine feminine energy. So feel free to listen in, and at the very least, give some extra love to the goddess in your space. I will pray and give thanks to the Creator for the breath of life. I give thanks to the Spirit of Destiny for wisdom and insight. I give thanks to the spiritual gatekeepers for opening the way to the ancestral realm and blessing me with Ashe. And I honor the ancestral voices for sharing their messages as we seek guidance. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I'm going to be using the decks that are aligned with Goddess energy. I've got the Muse Tarot, 2 Goddess Oracle decks, Priestess of Light, Divine Feminine Energy, and Mama Aset will have the last word as Primordial Mother. So let's tap in. I've cleansed the cards, but I always knock, 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 tap, tap, tap to get fresh energy and blow on them sometimes as I ask with this aligned energy. The goddesses are always among us, but on this day, the veil is that much thinner for us to access the divine realm that is outside of us and within us. We ask you for your guidance, goddesses, ancient goddesses of all faiths, of all traditions, of all cultures. The fundamental across it all is light and love and shadow as we figure out our contradictions and paradoxes in life and find balance. We wouldn't know one without the other. So thank you for your guidance. Just for a general overview of this energy to help us navigate the transitions and the flux and the intensity that is this age, this time. Give us guidance from Mother Earth, so rooted in divine feminine energy, so we may tread more lightly upon her soil and treat ourselves and each other better. Ashe. Starting with the Muse Tarot. Divine Feminine, for your guidance. What is it that you would have us know? With everything going on, and on this day, your day, as those of us with womb energy connect a little deeper. We've got the Hermit, we've got the Fool, and we've got the Magician. Let's Starting off with the Hermit card, I always give a upright interpretation in general and then discuss what it could potentially mean in the reverse, as the Hermit did come in reverse. The Hermit energy is very much about going within, in alignment with goddess energy and it being the day of the goddess. It is advisable for women or anyone tapping into this energy to take time for themselves, to honor themselves, to look inward, to do meditative work, to be calm, to take a bath, to get a massage, creative work, sacred work, but just not anything too strenuous or too public. And that is exactly what this card is confirming in regards to Hermit energy. It is about taking time away, retreating in some ways with the self, for the self. That's how you find clarity. To be able to align with goddess energy and to tap in, it is all for clarity. We do these readings, we meditate, all of it is for clarity, all of it is for a little bit more information, to dig in a little bit deeper on this as above, so below energy, because we want to know, as we are below, what is happening above, because we are all aligned, we are all connected. And there are so few answers in this 3D in comparison to the 5D. So we reach up, we reach out in hopes that we can get a little bit more insight from our higher selves that are living out the manifestations that we are in the process of working out. This is a quest for personal truth, and that's why you can only find personal truth by going within. Again, in regards to clarity, in regards to shadow work. I mentioned that in just the invocation of what we're looking for. It's about light and it's about love, but if we eliminate the reality that we are comprised of darkness and light, then we are in denial in some ways, and then we cannot truly do light workers' work, because we're denying a part of ourselves. The dark cannot be eradicated, it has to be transformed or transmuted, and it can only happen if we face it, if we acknowledge it within ourselves, accept it within ourselves, and find the balance and know how to control it. This Hermit energy is about going inward, doing that shadow work to figure it all out so that we can come back out into the world and have a better handle on those contradictions that we sometimes exhibit in ourselves, that we often judge in ourselves, that we feel confused about, which is why, again, the clarity is so prevalent in regards to Hermit energy and the quest for going inward. Sometimes we make things way too complicated, and it's okay for some things not to make sense, especially not right away. And that's why you just go inward and be gentle with yourself. This energy is about being gentle with yourself. You'll figure it out more. It'll be easier when you go inward. In reverse, a lot of us are not doing the work. We're not going inward. We're running and we're hiding. We're, again, in denial. We're being too hard on ourselves. Everything that I just mentioned in regards to us denying the darkness in us, especially if we are on a quest to do light and love work. We can't ignore. And if we are thinking that in some ways we want to be light workers because of wanting to eliminate dark or eradicate dark or transmit, transmute, transform darkness, then we have to be able to face it within ourselves as well as out in the world. So that's the energy I'm getting from the reversal of it. We need to do more shadow work. We need to be okay with the dark within us, because that's what makes us be able to choose the light. Everything in life is about choice. If we deny something that we are, we're not giving ourselves a choice. We're not being fair to ourselves and true to ourselves, because we're not fully encompassing who we really are. The Fool card is about taking a leap of faith, and this is all coming in such perfect alignment in regards to the order of things, because it is a leap of faith to do that internal work. It is a little bit scary. There's no doubt about it. You're going to face things that you don't want to face, which is why in the reversal, a lot of us are not doing the work. We don't want to know. We don't want to see those parts of ourselves. We don't want to be able to say, oh yeah, I do that, or I don't do whatever. We don't want to face that, especially when we are so about light and love on the surface, and we're judgmental towards other people that we feel are not of light and love, or not doing what we would necessarily do in a scenario. But then we realize that if we actually do the work, that we may actually recognize them in ourselves, and we don't want to see that. And that's why it's easier to project on someone else. It's easier to judge someone else. It's easier to assume that that cannot be you because of how appalled you are by it being in someone else. So take that leap of faith. It is a jumping off the cliff kind of energy with the Fool. And the Fool is the 0 card. So it's a complete, fresh beginning. It's a complete new start. And what I love about this deck is putting in the 0 on its side, looking like an 8, 2 zeros together, bring in our abundance, our infinite abundance with the infinity symbol, the 8, the Lion's Gate that literally just closed yesterday, and now we're keeping the momentum up with this divine feminine energy with the Day of the Goddess, Friday the 13th. The time right now is so incredibly intense, and none of it's an accident. And we really do have to tap in to it, because it's very, very potent manifesting energy. It's accelerated manifesting energy. It's like things that we've been hoping and wishing for the past 10 years could literally just be propelled in this 1 week. It's incredible. So harness it. And that's why I've, been inspired to do readings and share readings again. Because, again, it's all there. We're 2 cards in, and it's like, wow, I'm 13 minutes in on this video already because of how, intense, on point, poignant the messages are, and grateful for the Goddess coming through to give this guidance like this. So we see this infinity on its side. We see the 8 energy. We see infinity. The 0 is that new cycle. Goddess energy coming in as well on this, with 0 representing the moon, representing, the cycles itself. Number 13 represents the 13 moon cycles in a year, the 13 cycles that a woman has, in a year, and ovulating on the 13th day of her cycle. All of it is so reminiscent of the circular, cyclical nature of the moon energy. And infinite abundance coming in regards to that. And infinite abundance if you take the risk. If you dare to go inward and see all the parts of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're so focused again on everybody else and pointing fingers, and because we're so sure about who we are. And how much work have we really done to really know who we are? And I believe that the Goddess is coming through to tell us, whether we're male or female, that this work is daily work.
This work is journey work, not destination work. There is no destination when it comes to this. The universe is ever expanding, as are we, as above, so below. So if we don't every day dig a little bit deeper than the day before, we can't say we know who we are. We can't say we know what we would do in every particular situation or circumstance. And we certainly can't judge somebody else for doing what it is that they're doing in a circumstance that we're not experiencing. So this leap of faith is important to do that shadow work, to do that internal reflection work, to dig deep, to be alone, be comfortable in being alone, because it's only in that silence that you're really going to be able to hear your soul speak, to hear your higher self speak, to hear the goddess speak to you. It's a hopeful time, despite how diabolical in nature things seem to be. Just from these 3 cards, I got a positive energy from them right away, because if we put the work in, if we take that leap of faith, what comes next is magician energy. And magician energy in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the magician has the infinity sign right over his head. The magician is aligned with all 4 suits in the tarot deck, because the magician is about creation, is about co-creating with the creator, about transforming, alchemy, literally being able to take anything and turn it into anything else. So we can all tap into magician energy, literally be able to say, like genie in a bottle. Again, I'm talking about how potent the manifesting energy is right now. And this card, this is the epitome of manifestation. It's the epitome of manipulation. And it could be manipulation on a negative, but it could be manipulation on a positive. On the negative, we think of manipulation as trying to, sway someone or play with their mind or their emotions and make them think something that it's not. But on a literal sense, or on a positive sense, manipulation is just to manipulate something, to form it, to create it, to make it be what you want it to be. And we have the power and the potential to make anything what we want it to be, but we have to start with ourselves. That is the message coming through right now. That is the hermit energy of doing that internal work. That is being brave. Lionsgate energy is about going through the fire and not being afraid of the heat, of coming out like a phoenix rising from the ashes, doing that work, taking that leap of faith, believing in the new hope, believing that if you jump off that cliff, you are not going to splat. You're going to fly, or there's going to be an energy that's going to catch you because of your faith over fear. And then you get to manifest. Then you get to the other side, coming through the portal of where every single dream, every single thing that you've hoped for, that you've tried to manifest, is on that other side. And now you have the power because you did the work and you had the faith and you took that leap of faith. It's about inspired action and going internal. Hermit energy, being reflective, is action work. As much as it's just yourself, quiet time, meditative, it is action work. You are choosing what you are doing with yourself, your body, your mind, in that moment when you decide to stop everything, focus on yourself and your source. That is still very, very inspired action. And then the Fool card, to literally embark on this new journey fearlessly after you've come out of this reflective time, saying, you know what, I get it now. There's more to get, but what I didn't get before, I get that now. At least I get that now. And now I can go a little bit more further on this journey. Now I can walk towards the sun and not be worried that it's going to blind me. I'm going to walk wherever this takes me, I'm going to keep walking because I want to know, because I want to do. I want to see what comes next. And then magician energy says, you decide what comes next. After you take this leap of faith, after you've done this soul searching, now you get to create what comes next. And you have every element and every source and every suit, every tool at your fingertips. It's very, very, very empowering. And that is what the Lion's Gate did for us if we tapped in. Literally was a shedding in so many ways and a reclamation of our power, taking our power back. There's so much crap happening in the world right now, and we can be so inundated, whether it's media and whether it's social media, whatever it is that we're seeing, it's like abysmal. Like it could just make us feel like, yo, there's no hope. Like this sucks. How could they do this? What's happening? But if we stay stuck there, then we don't create anything new. Then they definitely win. Again, inspired action that the magician is telling us. We gotta feel sometimes that rage, that anger, that fuel, to feel like somebody is oppressing us, somebody is trying to hold us down, for us to say like, nah, we're not doing it like that anymore. This is all here. This Day of the Goddess is funneling and keeping the momentum, and the cards are dictating it so accurately that this is the message of this time. We get to decide. We get to decide. We get to decide. But we have to do the internal work first. We have to take all of our pieces apart. And then we have to remember to remember. And then we embark on that journey. And we walk towards the sun, regardless of any shadow, any shade that we come across on that walk. There is no shade without the sun. There's got to be some type of structure, some type of a tree or something that blocks out the sun to create the shade. So unless we're walking open skies, there's going to be shade. We create our own shade just by putting our hand up over our face. So we can't be afraid of the shade. We can't be afraid of the shadow, of what we might find internally. Look at these cards. The Hermit and the Fool card with the same sun. That's hope. That's keep on moving, like straight up. Keep going. Don't be afraid. The sun is going to guide you. The sun energy in tarot, in Lenormand, wherever you see sun symbolism, it's like prosperity and happiness and joy and new beginnings, and just stand in the sun and walk towards the sun and keep going. Even, oh my goodness, do you see the shadow? There is no obstruction. There is no, I just said it, and I'm looking at this card deeper now, and I'm like getting chills, because there is a shadow. She is creating her own shadow naturally. There is always shadow if there is sun. The sun creates the shadow. And depending on what time of the day it is, we're either walking away from our shadow or walking towards it. So no matter what, it's always with us. We can't run from it. So go in and face it. And come out on the sunny side of things, and then manifest all of the discoveries that you're only going to figure out when you go in and when you take that leap of faith. Ashe. I'm going to bring some goddesses in very clearly and very directly and give thanks for their confirmation on this information, and to grant any added interpretation or redirection or clarification. Give thanks, goddess energy. I'll take that. And I'm being called. No. So, we've got the Hermit, we've got the Fool, we've got the Magician. I pulled this one card, and then I had the intuition to pull another card, and then I stopped. You saw that. And it's because I'm in the moment saying I'm just going to pull one card, or no, maybe I'll pull two, and I'm listening to Spirit, and then it just said stop. And now I'm getting further guidance that the stop is because I need to pull a card from that deck for each of these cards. And it is further confirmed because of the card that will now be associated with the Hermit, which is about introspection, time away, retreat, inner work. We've got Sage, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, contemplate. That is perfect alignment with the Hermit card. Not much more to interpret there. Clear cosmic confirmation. That is the first step. That this is the first step. If my interpretation was unsure, if I wasn't sure, this just confirmed it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Goddess. The Fool. Which Goddess has a message for us on the Fool card. I'm always open to a reinterpretation or redirection if I'm misreading. Alright, let's take that one. Look at that. Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. So just now we're talking about doing this inner work so that we don't judge. We're always like finger pointing, projecting on other people instead of like going inward first. And it's also in the going inward that's going to bring forgiveness, and that's going to help us be able to embark on this journey. The Fool card is about taking that journey, is about walking towards the light and not running from our shadow. That is unconditional love. Seeing and loving your light and your shadow is unconditional love. We have to start with ourselves. If we are not able to love ourselves unconditionally, not only can we not expect someone to love us unconditionally, but we definitely can't love someone else unconditionally. It can't be real if we can't do it for ourselves. So that is definitely coming through the Fool energy, and with this, the shadow work, and how the Hermit energy brings us in to do this shadow work. And then we get up and we go. And we have a better sense of loving ourselves and others in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. This is the same thing, just talking right now about what's happening in this world, that we could be like, yo, it's so crazy, and all this stuff that I just said. If we focus on that, then yeah, we're going to feel like there's no hope. And that's the last thing that we should be doing. That's the last thing that Goddess energy, that Mother energy wants us to do. Mary Magdalene as the story goes, you know, was the castaway. And if Yeshua, if Jesus, you know, whatever you believe, you know, I believe in a little bit of everything, because with the things happening in the world today, like, if it's about light, if it's about love, if it's about humanity and people, I'm all about it. So, you know, for the story in itself to be, you know, Yeshua, for Jesus to have said, yo, cast the first stone, like, if you're without sin, if you, like, you can't judge her, you don't know her life, you don't know her life. and welcomed her. And she was like a female apostle. She was, yo, road dog, you know what I'm saying? But everybody else was judging her. Everybody else turned her away. And we as well point our fingers at other people because they are doing something that we wouldn't do. How do we know we wouldn't do it? And we have no idea what their circumstance is that made them do it. So it is, again, very much embarking. The full energy too is coming in with Mary Magdalene energy, because just channeling her right now, I'm feeling like how hard it was for her to put herself out there like that, knowing that everybody knew who she was and what she did and what she, you know what I'm saying? But she was like, I love me some Jesus. I'm coming. If he turns me away because I'm a sinner, then he turns me away. But I'm going to take that leap of faith. I'm going to walk towards the sun and see what happens. And look what happened as the story goes, you know? So, yeah, wow. Thank you. Magician. Ooh, goddess is coming through. Let's see who got something to say about the magician. Look at this intense and on point already. Magician energy, goddess. You want to give us a message about the magician? You came through. You came through. Irene speaks of peace and to release our worries and our fears. There's no need to worry, as everything is working out beautifully. Do you see the continuation of this? Even if just looking at the goddesses, we have Sige telling us to take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. Then Mary Magdalene is saying to love ourselves and others and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. That's in terms of judging people. That's in terms of judging society. The people that are doing wrong or whatever that we say that we think that they're doing, true or not true. Just love. Just love and start within. Go within to love yourself unconditionally within, and then keep moving. And then Irene comes through with magician energy, because magician energy means you can transmit and transmute absolutely anything as long as you're in a high vibration. And peace is one of the highest vibrations. Love and peace doesn't get any higher than that. And we literally are going from quiet time to find unconditional love to peace. This is like the most incredible goddess support happening right now on this planet. That's what they're saying. Don't literally, there is no need to worry, as everything is working out beautifully. That means it is written. That means everything that's happening is supposed to happen the way that it's supposed to happen. So you're going to choose to freak out about it and then end up shooting yourself in the foot instead of going inward, doing the work, being proud of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and embarking on your journey so that you can manifest absolutely anything and change your situation then, because it's only when you go inward that you're going to realize, you know what, I don't really want that part of me to take over. I don't want to keep repeating that pattern. Whatever it is, it's only in the shadow work that you figure that out. And then you release it. And then you walk towards the sun, refreshed and renewed, to manifest now with that vibration, under that frequency. The magician energy is also about infinite abundance. Again, the 8, the infinite 8 that is over the magician's head in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith deck is part of this Lion's Gate infinite abundant energy. And we know through our rituals, we know through life, that you can't make space. You can't receive something until you make space. It cannot come through if something is bogging down the energy, if something is there, sitting in its seat. So this is about release. This is about release so that infinite love, unconditional love, infinite abundance can come through, so that we can manifest absolutely everything, starting with peace. Peace is also on the exterior. The unconditional love is important to start on the interior, but the peace has to do with that exterior of looking at everything around us and being able to feel at peace. To walk through this chaos, to walk through fire and be at peace. And choosing faith over fear every single time, because we know, we trust, and we believe to receive that everything is working out beautifully. Grateful, Goddess. Thank you. Bottom of the deck, Ma'at. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Fairness. Just as I picked up the deck, it's, wasn't planned, but I was moving the deck and then to see it. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So if the peace, saying not to worry, everything is working out beautifully, didn't convince you, then Ma'at came through and was like, and just so you know, it's not that we're just saying that everything's, oh yeah, kumbaya. No. People gonna reap what they sow. Don't worry about it. I say. So it's true, we don't have to worry about it. Karma got it, is basically what I get from that. Ma'at got it. Justice will prevail. We don't have to worry about it. Creating the worry takes away their full karma. We end up ingesting and taking some of that onto ourselves by focusing on it. That's their stuff. Let them have it. This is what we need to focus on right now. This is it. This is for us. Taking our own reflective time, finding unconditional love for self, for others, for every situation, and choosing peace, not worrying. Trusting and believing that it's all working out just the way it's supposed to. Give thanks. This is another goddess deck that I'm just gonna pull one card. Well, whatever the goddess wants. I'm just gonna shuffle. Let's see what happens. Whoa, that's a stack. So I'm gonna take this one because it fell. Because it fell to the ground, to the table. And we've got Michelle, release. So what we were just talking about with the magician, that we can't receive if we don't let go of what's taken up its space, can't come through. If somebody in its seat, you need to relieve that person of that seat, or that energy, or that entity, or that environment, or that emotion. You need to release it. This whole journey, the quiet time, unconditional love, peace, this hermit into the fool, to come into being the magician, none of the steps can progress without release. And that is why I feel this card is coming through, and that I was just called to let it pull whatever came out. And this is the come out. This is what fell to the table beyond the stack that flipped, and I don't usually take stacks. I'll shuffle and, get a 1 or a 2 this is the energy. This is the, in essence, kind of this is where the card has to go. This is the first step. And it's in the action, right? We're talking about the magician being action steps. And that I was saying as well that going inward, taking that reflective time, meditating is still an action, even though it's calm, it's quiet time, it's still an action. We're still choosing to do something with our body, whether it's rest or not. Sleeping is still an action, as far as I'm concerned, because we choose, we compel our body, we let our mind dictate and then control our body to decide to lay down. And then we relax, and then we fall into our sleep. But the choice to sleep was an action. Releasing is an action. And it happens in this quiet time. It happens in this internal work. But I do believe before this action is made, because this, again, the reason it's an action is because we have to decide to stop and sit, stop and wait, stop and sleep, stop and rest, stop and nap, stop and breathe in deep. The intention is releasing. The inspiration is releasing to make us choose that action, to decide, yeah, I'm going to meditate now, and I'm going to try to go in a little bit deeper and see what. We do that to see what we don't want and what we do want. But again, we can only get what we want when we get rid of what we don't want. So release has to be the first step, has to be the initial inspiration, the impetus, the catalyst to this ultimate goal of being the magician of our manifestations and being at peace internally and externally, and creating a world that is at peace ultimately. The energy that's happening right now, and that I'm channeling, and I'm coming into and asking for guidance for on behalf of all of us, is because of what's happening in this world right now. And I'm grateful, that there's a promise of unconditional love, peace, quiet time, and that we are releasing, that the work is being done. And that's also part of negative forces, negative agents of the dark that only choose the dark. We all have it. I'm not condemning the dark. But in the action, when you only choose the dark, and when you choose the dark for yourself and for others, because what we're talking about, our shadow work and stuff, that's our own stuff. We're not, waking up every morning and just spewing our darkness on people. There are some people that wake up every morning and spew their darkness on people. And again, no judgment, but it's still a choice that they make that affects other people. And it has shifted the world into where it is now. And there needs to be a better balance. And this is the work that needs to be done to bring a better balance. We deserve peace. Them too. So if we have to take the brunt of the light working because they are focused on the dark, we'll do it. Because we'll do it for them too, if they want it. Can't force it on them. But we do the work. Because it's who and what we are. Especially when we do the shadow work. And we pull out and we release what doesn't serve. What would prevent us from taking that leap of faith? What would prevent us from focusing on unconditional love? What would hinder us from manifesting our absolute everything? And what would hinder us from not believing that peace is possible? Because of all the stuff. Release the stuff. Divine Feminine, give thanks. See if this energy is coming coming through. Further clarification. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, guys. Spirit, Goddess, energy. Mother of the world. I think that might be 2 cards. Yeah. We're going to read them both, shall we? Oh my goodness. I just said Mother of the world. And both of these cards say the mother of. Fatima, the mother of Imams. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. So we've got that right there. Mary Magdalene, the unconditional love. And then Khadija, the mother of believers. I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. Magician energy. What? And after I just said mother of, as I'm speaking to the goddess that is like all up in this space right now, listen. This is again, Lionsgate infinite abundance, spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. And like I mentioned, the traditional magician has the infinity sign above. Okay. All right. So there it is. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. Release the stuff that keeps you from remembering that love is your lineage. That is what you were born from. That is your birthright. Love and gratitude. You remember that when you go in and you do that shadow work. When you choose to love yourself unconditionally. And then as a result, love other people and every circumstance unconditionally. And then you can keep moving forward because then you don't have any fear of what you're going to encounter on the way because you've already come to peace with it. You're at peace. And then you can manifest it all. Then you've got a whole bunch of empty seats ready for the right energies to take their place. For the abundance, for the heaven and earth that you provide, that you create, that you co-create for yourself. Ashe. Priestess of light. What say you? Look at all this mother energy. I mean, goddess energy, it is what it is, but to say mother and then both cards, not all the cards say the mother of in this deck. I'm like, gotta go through the whole deck afterwards and see how many say the mother of. It's awesome. And to all the mothers, like shout out, because our work is like, yo, that's what's, as I say that, that's what's coming. So let's see. We've got the achievement card. Effort plus intention. All of this talk about action, right? That it's all an action. They're action steps. Even the reflection is an action step. Even the choice to release is an action step. Even when we are still and not moving, it is an action. That is the effort. That is why it is action oriented, because we are choosing, we are propelling ourselves, we are compelling ourselves to do something beyond just intention. Because a idea to release could be just intention. The idea to meditate and to manifest could be just intention. The thought of it, I guess I should do shadow work. Yeah, that's a good idea. But until you do it, then it's just an intention. So that effort is what brings the achievement. The combination of the effort and the intention. That again is magician energy manifested. Because the magician can co-create, but he uses every tool, every suit, every element at her disposal. Working them hands. Abracadabra. Get the wand out. All of that. Calling in, bringing down the abundance, the infinite abundance that we get confirmation from with Khadija. Being spiritually and financially abundant. Like, yo, we're so good. We're so good if we stay aligned and we do this work. We've been doing this work. And now this time, this age, this energy, this portal, this day, and so on and so on and so on from now on as it builds and continues with the momentum. If we stay aligned, especially with how the goddess is like coming through right now, being like, yep, you're aligned. Yep, things are happening. Achievement. Ma'at was at the bottom of this deck saying, yo, don't worry about it. Same way Irene said, don't worry about it. Justice will be served. In a fair and just manner. It will be achieved. Just like your wishes and your hopes will be achieved. Internally and externally. Tangibly and intangibly. Khadija says, I am spiritually and financially abundant. It's beautiful. And now to conclude, Mama Aset. Let's say you. Oh wow. There's two cards, so I'm going to read both of them. The Merkaba. And this card reads, Chariot of Ascension, Merkaba. A spiritual practice has come or is soon coming to your attention that will help you on your soul journey. Take your time to develop and practice your chosen spiritual discipline regularly. This will help you grow in power and grace, anchoring the spiritual light within the body of your soul. That is the Hermit. And Sij saying quiet time. This is again confirmation of where it starts. Step one. Goddess is showing us where we're even going to end up and telling us not to worry, but start where you are. And here is a very, very clear step one being reiterated over and over and over again. Action steps, to-do list, very clearly. Especially in regards to the spiritual practice, in regards to that internal work, in regards to our manifesting power. So we're definitely making some incredible shifts and transitions, as above, so below, and it's being confirmed here so tangibly. It's incredible. Ancient power mysteries. The oracle guides you to honor the power of your voice, whether through spoken or sung words, or through what you write, speak about, or stand for symbolically. You have a potentially very powerful healing voice, and you are guided to recognize the responsibility that you have for what you proclaim through your voice. Wow. I'm feeling that on a very personal level, naturally, as a singer, as a speaker, as a vocal coach, as an intuitive, as an oracle reader, and all of the ways that I use my voice. And We've all been called to use our voice. And during this time especially, we have to raise our voice. We have to be loud and proud about what it is that we want to say, sing, speak, write, play. Our voice is not just our vocal cords. It's however we choose to make noise. It's time to make noise. Take that time inward so that you figure out exactly what you want to say and how you want to play. And then make some noise. Ashe. Sometimes I'm compelled to use my charms, and I just pull randomly and then intuitively see what the message could add to. So I will do that, and then I will conclude and give thanks. I'm feeling like so heavy, but in a good way, you know. This was intense, and that like so present, so present, so present. Oh my gosh. It's 3:28 in the morning right now on Friday the 13th. I haven't slept. I've been up because I was trying to catch these meteor showers. And I'm so energized. It's incredible. Okay. We've got grounded growth. We've got the cowries, orishas in the building. We've got the lotus. It's healing and things growing out of guk. The most beautiful things growing out of guk. And we've got the leaf. Back to natural energy. Angel wings. We are protected. Much like the hermit energy and going inward, that's grounding. It's taking the time to root, to figure out how we want to grow, the direction, the pruning. That is what this charm symbolizes for me. And that is, again, ironically, like a first charm as it flew out on this side. It is a first step as well. We're getting, again, very, very clear action steps. Step 1, step 2, step this is what's happening, and this is what's happening, and this is what's coming. Don't worry about it because you're still here, but just so you know, that's for sure. But do this now. Start here. Start here. Quiet time. Go inward. Ground yourself. Get rooted again. This is, again, back to natural energy. Just tapping in with the goddess is back to natural energy and rooted energy. The angel wings. I always feel so enveloped when I work with this charm, whether I'm making jewelry or making orgonite or however I use these charms. And then when I get them in a reading, I feel our guardian angels around us. I feel archangels around us. I feel that sense of peace. Like Irene's energy is speaking and saying, yo, we got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Like, just don't worry. Even if you don't know, that's fine. You don't know everything. We don't know, like, so many people don't know. But don't worry just because you don't know. And then focus on what you do know. And then go inward so that you can know more. And then have less to worry about. So our angels are here. And our Orisha are here. And I love that this is coming through because it's like whatever you believe in, whether you're Catholic, whether it's Ifa, whether it's whatever it is, they're all here. That's what this is saying. Like we got y'all covered. So whoever's watching this, just in case, if they believe in the Orishas, they're here too. If they believe in angels, they're here too. If they believe just nature, that's here too. Because we've got the lotus, Lotuses grow out of like murky, the dirtiest water, the dirtiest ponds, like swamp-like conditions. And the most spectacular, healing, stunningly beautiful, sacred, ancient flower grows from that. That is what it has to grow out of. So this is the don't worry energy as well, because it is promising us that as ugly as it is and is going to get even more, this is what we have to look forward to. The lotus is going to grow from that. We are the lotus. This is why there's nothing to worry about. And this is why, ironically, it's like we need to be thankful that we get to be a lotus. And the only reason we get to be a lotus is because we're like trudging through swamp. That we're growing through the swamp. That it is that specific condition that makes us come out this beautiful, this healing, this healthy, this sacred, this spiritually abundant. This is what is going to raise our vibration. The conditions right now that we are choosing to go through without worry, focusing on the peace, focusing on the fact that we see how protected we are. We see how aligned we are, how present, how tangible their energy is. Whether we know their names or not, or we're just hearing their names for the first time, they're still here for you. Thank you. And this leaf just keeps us aligned with nature, with source, with the universe. It's back to natural and its best, and very simplistically. And I'm also getting the channeling right now that a single leaf, especially when it's unattached, right? This is grounded. This is just a loose leaf. And the loose leaf can just get carried away by Mama Oya, by the wind. But there's still nothing to fear. Imagine. That's that let go and let God. Be that leaf and just let the wind take you. And know, trust, and believe that you are going to land exactly where you're supposed to. Thank you. Thank you. I hope y'all feel that, because I'm like, wow, I'm gonna go so I can process this. For myself, I'm gonna listen back, since I don't always, I more often than not don't know what comes through until I listen back. And I definitely want to get every drop of this, because what I do remember is powerful and empowering and encouraging, and it's gonna make me sleep real good, and I'm gonna wake up so good. And I'm honored to share this, because I hope that that's exactly what it does for you every night and every morning, that you remember how good everything is, despite it all, in spite of it all, because of it all. It's like, bring it, bring it, bring it, bring the swamp. I'm gonna just be a lotus. It's like, okay, if you insist, thank you. Yo, yeah. Okay, that's it for now. Happy Friday the 13th. May you reclaim your goddess energy. Man, woman, child, align with your goddess energy. She is prevalent in absolutely every single one of us. Growing, steady growing. And the more we align, the more we'll feel her. And the more we'll embody her. And we can't go wrong with that. It's all right here. Give thanks. Enjoy your day. Let's get back to natural. Much love. Much love, much love. Ashe. It is done. So be it. Peace.